When you're sad, the worst thing you could possibly do is go on the internet. There's nothing that's going to make you feel better on there. I can promise you that. And unfortunately, due to the climate of streaming and whatnot, going on to a streaming service to find a comfort watch, it itself is somewhat of a deluge of content, and you can get distracted pretty easily. It's kind of a big mess, at least in my experience. Every time I've been in a bad mood, I've been upset, and I went online, it got worse almost instantly. Which is why I think it's interesting that I haven't heard very much talk about comfort reads. It really is the perfect way to pick up something physical, tactile, that itself kind of makes you feel good, and then have something that disconnects you. It's just nice. So I'm just going to go over a few of my favorite comfort reads when you're feeling down. I'd like to start small, quite literally, with this very beautiful collected poems of Yeats. Look at that. It's got the gold trim, beautiful cover, and then you take the dust jacket off. I don't want to seem vain. I don't usually do the book by its cover thing, but this was one time in my life where I saw it and it was just so beautiful. I did pick it up off the shelf and buy it. But who doesn't love William Butler? I mean, the pretty picture is a bonus. The poems in here are just so wonderful. I mean, I don't even know how much to say without, starting to read them to you, which I'm not going to subject you to. It's just something about the way that he writes, and what he writes about is so soothing. He has this childlike wonder of the world, but he infuses it with so much wisdom. Now, if you're on a budget here, please heed my previous warning about the internet, but if you go straight to poetryfoundation.com or org, I'm not sure, look up some Yeats, you'll get a similar experience. Just gorgeous stuff. Just anything. Just anything. I keep this by my bedside. It's so small, and you can just open it up to anywhere, and there's something that'll be bound to make you feel a little better. Even if it is kind of sad, it's just nice. Love the guy. Thank you, Yeats. Thank you, Ireland. This one's a little more involved. I think requires a little more explanation. We got Post Office. I'm a big Charles Bukowski fanboy. Here's every Charles Bukowski novel. Post Office is his debut. Fantastic book, fantastic start. I think there are a couple things about Bukowski that make him just a fantastic read when you want to cheer up a little bit. But please don't get me wrong. I mean, there is some, serious emotion in what he writes. But chief among them is that, this guy sucks. A man of ill repute, one would say. His frequent misfortunes, often caused by his own stubbornness, attitude, misanthropy, it kind of takes the edge off, and it does make it quite humorous to see him engage with this world. Definitely not going to win any feminist literature awards on account of this guy might be the most sexist guy ever. This guy might be the number one misogynist of all time. Not something I condone. In fact, as I was saying earlier, the fact that he's so awful is kind of what adds to the entertainment value. But I just can't deny that sometimes he just writes something that just hits you, and it's just beautiful, and there's this feeling that this certain milieu of people who just constantly suffer misfortune, you're not the only one. And then sometimes he'll hit you with something kind of inspirational, something that kind of makes you want to, chin up, look to the future. I mean, he had a very, very late start in his career. He had a terrible, terrible life leading up to it, which you can read in his other novels. And you know what? Afterwards, didn't get much better for him. Granted, he didn't get much better. But, if you want more of a bite-sized Bukowski experience, I'd recommend Mockingbird Wish Me Luck. This is his poetry collection, I think among his first. And this is also just a wonderful, wonderful collection of poetry. I also have Last Night of the Earth poems, which is also great. I think, honestly, better, a little more refined than Mockingbird Wish Me Luck. But I would say that this is the kind of thing, I wouldn't pick this up as a new Bukowski head. You have to kind of get into the groove and understanding of his language. and either look past or come to terms with certain aspects of his work that are a little difficult. One day I will discuss every single one of these books. Anyway, to conclude, Post Office, his first book, fantastic introduction to Bukowski. I mean, the opening line is literally, "It began as a mistake." I think that says it all about not only his writing, but the kind of experience you're in for. I really recommend it. Finally, final piece here. Go ahead. Call me benighted, huh? How am I gonna open this book and not get a smile on my face in at least 5 to 10 seconds? I mean, it's Far Side. It's Gary. It's Gary Larson. This is the good stuff. This is the main vein. You're not going to be walking away from a perusal of the Far Side gallery feeling, at the very least as bad as you were feeling. I mean, what's there to say? It's classic. Everyone loves Far Side. It's the good stuff. I don't really want to belabor the point here. It's very nice to have a physical copy of this. It's nice to see these pictures just crisp, clean, like I'm holding the funny papers, but the funny papers. The funny papers. Really not much else to say here. I love reading books that are very sad. It's just something I enjoy. I like that, kind of gothic, Victorian, kind of macabre, all that kind of stuff across the eras. But come on, you can't have a good personal library without some Far Side. Come on. I mean, come on. Yeah, I love this stuff. My favorite Far Side. Oh man, that's actually a really good question. The astronaut one is definitely up there. Anyway, that's all I wanted to go over today. I hope someone somewhere could benefit from these recommendations, and I have more, but I just wanted to start small. And you know what? Remember this: whatever you need to do to feel better, you should do that. But don't go on social media, please.